Welcome to the Cozy Convos podcast. I am your host, Elijah, and today, you guys, I am so excited to be back here with you all for another episode. Today's topic is stop seeing the world through other people's eyes.
Let's have a conversation and make it cozy. Let's dive into the unknown so we can continue growing. It won't always feel so comfortable, letting go of limited beliefs. But we know we have big dreams and goals, so we're committed even when truth gets heavy. Let's have a conversation and make it cozy. Let's address the hard things and still make it feel so cozy. Let's embrace our flaws so we can feel even more cozy. This safe space won't make you feel anything other than cozy.
Y'all, we are on our 5th episode. I'm so excited. I have really been enjoying doing this little series here. And I love the fact that we are officially in Libra season. Okay, all my Libras, give me a woo woo woo. I'm an October Libra, so I'm very excited for that. And I'm so excited because I feel like the cooler months are approaching. So, Cozy Convos podcast is really about to live up to its name. But okay, enough rambling. Let's dive into today's topic. This topic is centered around our need for external validation. We hear this word a lot, but I don't feel like we understand how detrimental it is to our lives and our well-being, especially when we unknowingly allow that to be the primary source for our motivation and our inspiration. Well, could you really call it inspiration if it's coming from a falsified source? I don't know. I feel like our need to be accepted by society is what's really holding us back. And I mean holding us back in a variety of different ways. Y'all know here on the Cozy Convos podcast, if you've been getting acquainted for the past few episodes, we like to talk about the things that are affecting our mental well-being, our spiritual well-being, because we understand that that's the source and foundation for all of our lives. And we know that what's going on internally within us is going to reflect in our external world. I cannot emphasize how important it is for us to have uniqueness, for us to have individuality. That unique ability, that unique gift, that individuality that we all possess is something we need to pour out into the world. It's something that we need to express, whether it be creatively, whether it be educationally, scientifically. We all have a different range of interests and passions. But when we step outside of that bubble of curiosity and we start trying to pursue things or make moves with other people in our mind, that's when the path gets a little too hectic. This has made me ask myself the question of, why don't we put ourselves first? Why is it so hard for us to genuinely do what we want to do? In regards to our career, in regards to love, in regards to just our success and our happiness. I feel like it's because we're not questioning the definition that's always been pushed upon us on what success and achievement actually looks like. Many of us, I fear, are so disconnected from our true selves and don't even know the answer to this question in regards to what we actually want to do and pursue. And of course, we know the economy that we live in, girl, they're charging us an arm and a leg for a matcha. But my point is, I feel like we're only focused on that material aspect. I don't think we're focused on the spiritual side of things or the emotional side of things, which is why I love music. I love doing my podcast. I love doing these things because they contribute to my soul. They help me heal. They help me feel better. My endeavors help me to express myself creatively and let go of any baggage, any burdens that I may have been carrying before. We have been brainwashed to think that success comes from validation. And of course, it makes sense to want to be recognized for your own achievements. But if that's all we are seeking, and let's be honest here, most of us do, and I'm not excluding myself from the conversation, I'm speaking to myself and you all collectively, honey, we are all on the same page, we are all working to achieve certain things spiritually. But these are questions that I just feel like we need to start asking ourselves. Even when I get this thing, this image, this car, this house, this money, will the chase ever end, or is it going to be never ending? Even when you reach your goals, you're always going to be wanting more. You're never going to be fully satisfied. And because of this, we have exhausted ourselves trying to make other people's burdens ours to carry. We're taking unrealistic expectations and making them ours. This flashy lifestyle that's always broadcasted and promoted. This idea that success comes from your material possessions. I'm gonna be honest, as I've evolved spiritually in my mindset, it's just really disgusted me to see certain people push that agenda, making those people who see those things feel like they are lacking, creating insecurities, making them feel worthless and devalued. And what pisses me off even more is that a lot of these people know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what images they are pushing upon society to make us feel a certain kind of way. Of course, we all want the finer things in life. And of course, we have to hustle to make our dreams a reality. But why make that hustle harder with always having other people in mind by trying to live up to somebody else's expectation or somebody else's image? That's why I'm always talking about disconnecting, because when you disconnect from social media, when you disconnect from society, you get to live life by your own rules, by your own terms. You're not struggling, scraping, and scrapping and going out of your way to present an illusion that doesn't really resonate with who you are, who you actually are meant to become. Baby, it is your life and your life only. It is not your mother's life. It is not your father's life. It is not your friend's life. It is not your teacher's life. It is nobody else's life but your own. If there are goals that you want to achieve, redirect your focus and ask yourself these questions. Why do I even want this? What does success look like to me? And I cannot express to you all how deeply important and valuable it is to really take some time to sit and reflect upon your life. Doing so, I feel like, is going to be a lifesaver for so many of us, because it's going to save us from spending years and years and years chasing something that actually does not make us happy. It all comes back to self. Start disconnecting from them and reconnect with you. When you do that, you guys, your perspective is going to shift. And reconnecting doesn't always look like I'm looking at my trauma, I'm looking at my wounds. Sometimes reconnecting is just spending some time with yourself in solitude. Maybe you're laying in the grass, enjoying nature, allowing the sun to hit your skin in this nice fall weather. Maybe you're reading a good book, maybe you're writing a song, maybe you're painting, maybe you're coloring in a sketchbook, maybe you're working out, you're exercising. Anything that raises your vibration, any activity that you enjoy doing. Realizing that those little things, those little simple moments of you taking time to enjoy yourself and being your own company, that is such a shield for you in today's society that will push everything upon you to try to make you once again conform and do something that you really don't want to do, but because the pressure is heavy, because everybody is telling you to go this way, you eventually give in for the sake of being accepted. And girl, the price that you pay is never going to be worth it. It's never going to amount to the success that you could have achieved both internally and externally if you would have stayed on the path of creativity or just passion. This heals a part of you. It creates a lens that you're now looking at the world without that competitive comparison mindset. You're still seeing the world, but you're seeing the world with the lens of authenticity. You're seeing the world through self-love and clarity. And I promise you, y'all, it is such a breath of fresh air. It's such a freeing feeling. It's like, oh my goodness, now I can live my life. There are no rules. There are no people to please. There's not a standard that I'm trying to live up to. I'm just living my life. I'm being myself. I'm being authentic. I'm loving every part of me, broken and healed. Girl, I'm telling you, this is real shit. A lot of us are not struggling as much as we think that we are. We've become obsessed with keeping up illusions, and a lot of us don't even know it. And something that really gets me, girl, that really just takes me back and throws me for a loop, is how we are all pretty much going through the same thing or something similar, but none of us know it because we're all so busy trying to present ourselves a certain way to trick the next person who's literally going through the same thing as us. And it's creating this wall, it's creating this division. Imagine what would happen if we opened up to the next person who's going through the same thing that we're going through, but we don't know it. And we're so busy trying to keep up a facade and hide it from them that we don't realize that the next person going through the same thing as us can actually help us. We can actually pour into each other and uplift one another. And we don't see that the true wealth, the true success is an abundant flow of joy, an abundant flow of happiness, not feeling tied down or weighed down by the systems that were only built to break you. And since the struggles are not broadcasted, nobody's really talking about the trauma, the wounds, the things that a lot of us are facing, damn near all of us, girl. We are all victims of the same system that has always tried to impress us. We are all victims of the same enemy, and we're so busy fighting each other that we don't realize we have one common thing that has been the catalyst for our unhappiness, the catalyst for our unhealed wounds. And trust me, baby, I know it's very, very uncomfortable breaking out of that shell. That same shell has given us a glimpse of love and acceptance. And it's so unfair how many of us were deprived of that as children, as teens, as young adults. But what if you could multiply that glimpse of love and acceptance that you often feel when you're trying to seek validation from other people by 10, by simply blocking out everyone's expectations and doing what makes you happy? Imagine wearing rose-colored glasses that makes the world look and feel so much brighter than it does for you right now. It's so crazy to me that as I've grown up, I realize a lot of the things that we are trying to attain is going to be obtained the exact opposite way that we've always been taught. This game is mental. The game is mental. The game is mental. It's in your head first. Reality comes from your thoughts. Thoughts shape reality. Living for others corrupts your mind. Because where there is obvious abundance, you see scarcity. You become consumed by the race. You become consumed by the competitiveness. You become consumed by the comparison. You become consumed with trying to be validated or trying to be on the top, trying to be the best, just so everybody can praise you. And living your life that way, I can imagine there's no contentment, there's no balance, there's no peace there, because you're always running. You're always trying to do the next thing to get you that next glimpse of love and acceptance that you're desperately seeking. Lack is a frequency. It's not just material, it's spiritual too. Because if you can't appreciate all that you've obtained, if you can't feel happiness and joy and pure bliss and contentment, if you can't feel all of those positive emotions and you feel like it's not enough still, if you're living your life that way, abundance that is clearly present becomes invisible suddenly. But once you start living for yourself, leading you to appreciate the small things in your life, appreciating the answered prayers that you are already living in that you a year ago didn't have, that's when the universe says, okay, he or she or they, you're ready for more. So to wrap this up, you guys, block out the noise, disconnect, find time to do things that interest you that don't have anything to do with the phone, that don't have anything to do with technology. Of course, there's so many benefits. There's music, there's connection, there's inspiration, there's art. But I urge you all, as I'm working on this myself too, to find balance, okay? Find time to disconnect and get to know yourself, and also find that time to reconnect and pull back into the world. Doing that helps you reevaluate what you actually prioritize, what actually matters to you, what are your values, what is your passion. It helps you step outside of this blended identity that we've all just been blindly following and finding your own. So honey, if you are trying to achieve freedom, mental stability, peace, tranquility, and all of those beautiful other positive traits, honey, then stick around for the next episode of the Cozy Convos podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had so much fun talking about this and breaking it down. We are all in this together, honey. I am not speaking from someone who is not actively working on these things, who are breaking these walls and these obstacles and these challenges down every single day with ease. But okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm done rambling. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in the next episode. Kisses, hugs, and blessings. Mwah.